guys, today we are doing a little tutorial on Luminous glowing skin for acne coverage, full coverage acne coverage, and this is what the completed end result looks like. So if you would like to see how to get this face, or maybe a face that looks more like yours except covered in makeup and bronzer, then stay tuned. Let's just jump right in. Before I do my makeup, I always wash my face and moisturize. So many people will tell you to use a moisturizer with SPF in it. I think that that is a fantastic idea if SPF does not bother your skin. If you are like me and you have active cystic acne, it is possible that SPF will bother your skin. Because of that, I never put SPF directly on my skin. My moisturizers never have SPF in them. My primers never have SPF in them. A lot of the time my foundations do, but I do not ever put like anything with titanium dioxide, which is what is in sunscreen, directly on my skin. To prime right now, I am using this Image Eye Prime. This is a product that you can generally only find at esthetician's office, but I will tell you the Benefit Porefessional is very, very similar to it. I will leave you a link to where you can find the Image products down below. I always put my primer in the center of my face and work my way out. I'm also very careful about putting my primer around my mouth and right here because I do get a lot of separation in my makeup around there. I also make sure to work it into pores and shit like that. Of course, really important if you have acne, make sure that you wash your hands before you start doing your makeup, because if you are going to utilize your hands, you don't want any gunk on them. Mine are pretty clean. They only smell a little. If you want your skin to look super flawless, it is going to be very, very important that you find a routine that allows your first couple steps of your makeup to settle into your skin. You kind of hear makeup gurus and beauty gurus say, let that dry very often, but then you see them move on to the next step really quickly. I did not realize how essential this step was. It is really important that you let any of your full face stuff really soak into your skin. Give it a minute to warm up to your skin. Just kind of meld into your beautiful little face. Now that my primer has had like a minute and a half to really just sit on my skin, I am going to go in with my foundation. I am using the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I have extremely oily skin, and you will hear people all day, all night telling you, use mattifying, use mattifying, use mattifying. And yes, mattifying products are absolutely fantastic. For me, it is all about kind of balancing that luminous, dewy skin with mattifying the oil that can be created. I do not focus super heavily on always putting super mattifying products on my skin. If you have acne prone skin, I highly recommend finding things in your routine that can just make your routine a little bit faster. Something that I use is the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation brush. I'm not using the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation, but I will put a link to where you can get this and the foundation for like a hell of a good deal. I think I got it on like QVC or something. For how much time you spend on your makeup and stuff, finding little ways to speed it up can be really essential, especially if you're someone who, has to go to work in the morning. So I take my foundation and I just put 2 drops directly on the foundation brush, and then I pat it around my face. I take a couple more drops, but then I go ahead and I blend it in. With this brush, you can use like big sweeping circular motions, and it's so fast. It's so nice. This is just one of those things that, like, if you have acne and you have to spend all this time covering your skin, having a tool like this is just life-changing. So I make sure when I do my foundation, I go all the way down because obviously I have a double chin, and if I didn't, it would look very, very weird. So many times in acne tutorials, I see people try to completely get rid of every scar, every blemish, everything when they do their foundation. And you have to remember that your foundation is just the first layer of makeup. So you are going to have tons more layers go on this, and you do not need to like cake your face with foundation just so that you can get the coverage you want. Like, I still have visible blemishes, and we're gonna get to those, and they'll get covered. As I was telling you guys, it's really important to let your foundation and the things that sit on your face kind of melt into your face and warm up to your face and stuff. So now what I usually do is go ahead and put on my eyebrows. So now that I've let my foundation sink in and I've kind of evened out my whole face, I am going to go in with a concealer. My favorite concealer is this Instant Age Rewind. I love it. I think it is amazing. I am wearing the color Light Pale. Remember that you are going to bronze and do all these things with your face. So if something does not match you perfectly, it's okay. Test it out. Try some things. See if it maybe will blend in with, you know, your bronzer or whatever. I always go a little bit lighter than my skin tone because I know I'm gonna bronze the shit out of myself, but it's up to you. All I'm saying is don't get hung up on finding that perfect match. Remember that you are gonna do other things with your skin that might make it, you know, look really amazing. So with the concealer, I just dab it on to any problem areas. I used to use this for an under eye concealer, and it is a great under eye concealer. I do not use it anymore as an under eye concealer simply because I got a different one that I'm trying out, and I'll show that one to you guys. Remember to pay attention to like your neck, especially if you're like me and you know, have double face, then making sure that you cover any acne that you might have like on your neck is going to be really important. Now, even though I use a brush for my foundation, I do use a Real Techniques beauty blender for my concealer. I do get it damp, but it is not like so damp that even a water droplet could fall out of it. I prefer the Real Techniques beauty sponge to beauty blenders just because I like the shape of it better. I really think that like this just gets in your eye really well, whatever. And then just tap your concealer. Don't go bonkers with tapping it. Honestly, if you are using a concealer that works okay with your skin, it should just kind of blend right in. Also, if your foundation or anything like that has any like uneven spots when you're using your beauty blender, go over with your beauty blender and just even it out. One of the things that's really, really hard for me for my foundation for whatever reason is this part of my nose just like doesn't hold foundation very well at all. So I always kind of tap it with my beauty blender, see if I can get it to blend out. All my spots are concealed. You can still see the texture on that spot. It's a big bump on my face, y'all. I don't know who anyone's fooling and trying to get rid of texture. That's for Facetune, not for makeup. If you have a nasty little zit like this one that you are just dying to completely conceal, here is my best advice. Take your concealer, whatever it may be, and go at the zit from a couple different directions. I know that that sounds kind of silly, but kind of like taking your brush or blender or whatever, and instead of just applying it directly onto it, kind of going out the sides and stuff will help to really cover the area better. And then once you do that, just take the beauty blender right around it and blend that out. After you do that, I take a powder foundation and a little fluffy brush like that. I bounce it in my powder foundation, don't get too much on there, and just like I did with the concealer, you go around it from different angles, and you basically just want to set that concealer in. So now that your foundation looks all fresh, you can move on to the rest of your skin. This is personally my favorite part. I love bronzer. I think it just does amazing things for my face. I am currently using the Too Faced Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer in Sweet Tea. I love this shit. It has a lighter side and a darker side, but I just mix it all together. I'm really into this packaging too. For some reason, I just feel like it is a lot cleaner. Swirl it around. I go up on the top of my head first. I have a slightly tall forehead, so I do bronze way up here to give the illusion that my forehead's a little bit shorter. It doesn't really help, y'all. I still have a big forehead. I'm okay with it. Just like every other beauty guru shows you, you go around your face with the bronzer. I pay special attention to like get bronzer on my ears because I am always wearing my hair up. You know, I don't want my ears to look pale. Why would you want your ears looking pale? I just realized that it's silly to bronze your ears on camera with you guys. Sorry about that. I do kind of a bronzing contour duo. I don't contour my face, but I do bronze the shit out of it. So what I do is just take my bronzer and go in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm not like super, you know, precise about this because the truth is I don't care if it's contouring me. All I really want is to look a little bit more glowing. With that lighter side of the bronzer, I do go down my face, on the sides of my nose. Super important that if you have a double chin, you're taking bronzer down your neck. Oh my god, you guys, I told you I was gonna do the concealer under my eyes and I never did it, so let's go ahead and do it. Currently using IT Cosmetics Brighten and Conceal Bye Bye Under Eye. One side has like a really thick concealer stuff and the other side is just like a brightener. So I just put the really thick concealer stuff directly in my darkest areas of my eyes. And then I blend that shit in. Same beauty blender. This is why I like this shape of the Real Techniques, because I just feel like it like gets in my eye really well like that. But you know, you do you. If you love a beauty blender, use your beauty blender. I have naturally very puffy under eyes. That is like literally just how my eye sockets are made. So I don't ever worry about like making it look like my eyes aren't puffy or anything. That's what my face looks like. But if you want to, you can absolutely throw a little finishing powder under there like other people do. Take your damp beauty blender, use some kind of finishing powder, rub it in, and just kind of boop, 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 and just let that sit there while you are bronzing and stuff. So I just finished my under eye concealer. Something that I do usually when I am like waiting for my primer to set or for my foundation to set is I use a Lash Primer. This one is Tarte's Opening Act. I got it in like a little sample thing. I use this for one reason and one reason alone, and that is because I have to do 2 layers of mascara on my eyes. I do not wear falsies, and if I do 2 layers with black, I get it all over myself. So this white stuff has just really helped to make my mascara less messy. So go ahead and put this on. Now that my lashes are primed, I just go back through, give myself another little quick bronze. The next step I do is put on some highlighter. I put on highlighter before blush because I feel like sometimes I need to calm down with the highlighter and my blush helps me do that. So like my blush kind of, you know, melts it all together. I put highlighter just down the bridge of my nose, on my lip. I go bonkers with it on my lips, you guys. And then of course on the high spots on my cheekbones. Glow. And a little dab will do ya in the corner of your eyes. I do use Nars Orgasm blush. The only reason I use it is because it's the only blush I own, so why not? I have to look in a mirror for this, sorry. Everyone swears by this Real Techniques blush brush, but I don't know if I'm completely in love with it. I put the blush kind of somewhere in between my bronzer and my highlighter. If at any point you feel like you got carried away with something, just go through and give it a few little beauty blends. I am not going to do any eyeshadow or anything so that this foundation look can kind of just stand on its own. The last step is to apply some mascara. The final step to this look is to finally go in with a mattifying translucent powder. I use the Rimmel Stay Matte. This shit is the bomb. It is so good. I take a big fluffy brush, go like this, and I only use this mattifying powder where I get the most oily. I do not want to do away with my dewy, beautiful, luminous skin just so that I can look caked and matte. So I only put the mattifying powder where I know my skin is going to need it during the day. Now, if you want, after that, you could use a finishing spray. I like Urban Decay's makeup setting spray. I have heard that if you have acne, you should try to stay away from setting sprays because they have alcohol in them, but it's your skin. Do what you want, do what works for you. Man, if I had to work 8-hour days in an office, I would be using the fuck out of some setting spray. So, because we're just doing glowy, luminous skin today, I am just going to throw on a little gloss, and this is your completed look. Glowy, luminous acne coverage. This holds for me for at least 6 hours. When it is starting to do anything, which it usually doesn't, I just use my Stay Matte on it and it fixes everything. If you guys like this video, if you would like me to do more kind of makeup tutorials or a chit chat, get ready with me, or anything like that, please let me know, and please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. A swimsuit from them. Y'all, they have swimsuits.